Hey, what's going on? It's the Political Brown Kid here. And I'm pretty sure everyone has heard the news because it's been all over social media that Judge Mathis's wife has filed for divorce after 39. Count that. Not 1 decade, not 2 decades, not 3 decades, but almost 4 decades of marriage. 40 years. That's a lifetime for some people. Definitely was a lifetime for Jesus. And she wants to call it quits. She's 61, he's 63 or 64. They married young, I think in their 20s. And after all of this time, she wants a divorce. And the reasoning for the divorce, according to the internet and sources, is irreconcilable differences. The good old catch all, right? When you can't accuse someone of cheating, when you can't someone accused of beating, when you can't accuse them of anything else, it's just irreconcilable differences. And my thing is, if the differences were irreconcilable, did you go to um, your spiritual leader, or did you go to any type of counseling to try to reconcile it? How hard did you fight to keep this marriage? We'll never know. So I can't automatically assume that she didn't. But I'm willing to lean one way that she just woke up one day. Well, you don't just wake up. I'm pretty sure some signs were there, but they didn't fight hard enough for this marriage. She didn't. He didn't file. She's the one filing. So how hard did you fight? You just wanted out. After 39 years of marriage, you're 61 years of age. You're preparing really for your transition to the next life. That's just being honest. But once again, I told y'all there's a study out there that says women are happier single and men are happier married. And I can tell y'all why that is the case. I'm just going to give you a real quick synopsis. I'm not going to do a deep dive here, but it's just that women are they're tired of just kind of being tied down. They see all of the fun on the internet. And I'm pretty sure I'm telling everybody what you already know. They see the fun, they see the lifestyle, they see all of this, you know, girls having fun type stuff, and they just want to live that lifestyle. And plus, her marriage, probably after 39 years of marriage, let's just be honest, it just got stale and routine. Because after so many years of being with one another, you get bored. But that's what life is. Men are happily content being bored because we're boring creatures. We're the type of people we just, once again, we're just happy, chilling, being in the house, being with our family. Women always have to have some type of danger and excitement. That's why they chase these bad boys. But I'm not going to go into the depths of that. But the thing that's disturbing about this, and I'm pretty sure you've been seeing all kind of videos. I've been seeing everyone do videos on this. O'Shea, big up to O'Shea. He's covered this already. Few people have. But the disturbing part about this is this. She's filing for divorce for irreconcilable differences. To me, that's number one, egregious, because it's kind of like everyone just wants to walk away. And when you're just tired of dealing with somebody and you can't point out any faults with them, you just claim irreconcilable differences, and the courts allow this type of stuff. And yeah, and I know people are going to probably be harsh on me to say, well, if you don't want to be married, you don't want to be married. But at some point in time, you can't just stop bed hopping and jumping from partner to partner. Back in the day, this is kind of a little bit before my time, but before my time, back in the day, people got a job with one company. They worked for that same company for 40, 30 years. They retired with that company, and in turn, that company paid for their pension, and they said, you were loyal to us, we're going to be loyal to you and take care of you in your retirement years. Now with the newer generation, everything is just bunny hopping. Everything is just monkey branching. You stay with one job for 2 years, and then if you find a better opportunity, you move on. You stay there for 3 months, you move on. You stay someplace else. Your resume has about 45 different companies that you work for. Now, am I going to say if that's right or wrong, good or bad? I'm going to leave it to what it is. And you even see that in professional sports, in the NFL and NBA. Back in the day, you stuck with one team, you played with that one team. Michael Jordan being a prime example, even though he did go on to the Wizards, but he retired, but he spent the bulk of his career, he's a Chicago Bull. And you see all of these players, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, so forth. You can go down a list of NBA players back in the day that stayed with one team, played there. NFL, you could say the same thing with all of the stars, Dan Marino, so forth. Nowadays, it's just who has the best opportunity, and people move on. And people are treating marriage the same way. It's like, I'll be married for a season, and when this season is up, I move on. Now, getting back and just going to focus on um, uh, Judge Mathis's wife. I forget her name, begins with an L. She's gotten divorced for irreconcilable differences, which I find is a cop out. She's asking for spousal support, yet, but then she's also been asking the court to waive her obligation for spousal support. So basically, she's saying, I don't want him to be able to ask for spousal support from me, but I want to ask for spousal support from him. So that's what she's doing. And what that basically says, and this is the thing that ticks me off with women today, it's my thing is, if a man isn't good enough for you, because let me just add this in because this goes to the conversation too. What she did is this, and my ex did the same thing. She's taken out all pictures with him in it on her social media page, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly. On her social media page, she has scrubbed him from her social media page. And I find this just to be totally egregious and unloyal. And this is the thing that really ticks me off with women. Because trust me, like I told you, my ex did the same thing. You've known somebody for 20 plus years. You share family. You share DNA with this person. You had a life with this person. And then you wake up and then you all of a sudden, because you're not happy and you feel unfulfilled, you want to move on for irreconcilable differences. And then all of a sudden, you just want to erase this person out of your life like they never existed. So my thing is that he's not asking for the divorce. You are. Why do you feel the need to erase this man from your history and from your life? So you don't respect him as a man to say, okay, I respect him as the father of my children, as my friend for 39, or probably, and you got to figure they were married for 39 years. He's known her for longer. So you've known this person for 40 plus years. And so you can't even respect this person to say, this person has been a friend to me, a lover to me, my support system, my provider. This person has been a lot of things in my life, and I'm pretty sure she has been a lot of things in his life too. But I'm just looking at it from her perspective. This person has been a lot of things in my life, has given me, I don't know how many wonderful kids, has provided a particular lifestyle for me. Just took her on a cruise. I think they or went on vacation with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. I just seen a picture with all of them posted together with their wives, them and their wives, all on vacation. And this happened, I think this vacation was just in May. So I'm going to circle back to that in a minute. But this person has provided for you for all of these years, and now you just want to act like you don't know them. And I don't get that. And they say Tia Mowry did the same thing to Corey Hardrick, acts like she doesn't know them. I don't know what it is with these women that they want to act like they don't know you after they leave you. But yet, he's not good enough to be in her life, but she still wants his resources. My thing is that if I'm not good enough for you, then why should you be asking for my resources? You're a grown 61-year-old woman. Take care of yourself. And this is also the problem. These women just marry and they want the resources, and they just want the resources from the man. And then they want to be able to move on and get them, some younger lover, big dick Rick roaming around in the bedroom with them and living off of this man's resources. Prime example, I just saw a video just this morning with, and I got to shout out Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, MTR. He just posted a video. This woman, and this is also another thing too. This woman he made a video. It's called Some Widow. She just got a divorce, white female, and she allowed some guy to come over and, do with her after she's been widowed. So the woman says in the video, I've been widowed for a couple of months, and I invited this guy over to my house that I knew. I invited him over, and they were just spending time in the house. So this is what she says out of her mouth. He was broke. He didn't have any money. He's up in my husband. This is her words. She's up in my my widowed husband's house, or my widow's house. He's eating my widow's food. He's living off my widow's money and resources because the guy was broke. And so they were just door dashing food to the house every day and just staying in the house. So obviously he's just in the house busting her down, and basically she's trying to put it on him like she's the victim. But no, you invited a man. You've only been widowed for a couple of months. And I'm going to tie this back into Lori Harvey now, because this is where I'm going with the story. She's only been widowed. You mean you and your husband were supposedly happily married, and he dies, and his body hasn't even, rigor mortis hasn't even set in, and you already have somebody else banging you out. Your toys aren't good enough for you. Going to your favorite adult site isn't good enough for you to pleasure yourself while you cry and grieve over your husband. But no, he's not even freshly decomposed, and yet you have another man inside of your body, inside of the house that your husband provided for you, and you're giving him the money, i.e. resources, that your husband left for you. This is what these women do. And I'm pretty sure Mrs. Mathis is going to do the same thing. She's probably already done this. Because when women move on, trust me, she's moved on long before she's actually filed. So she knew when she went on that vacation trip with Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and the rest of the crew, she knew then that she was going to get a divorce and that she was going to file. Trust me, you don't just wake up one morning and say, I'm filing papers. No one does that. Maybe a bipolar person, maybe a person with schizophrenia, a person with mental health issues. I hate using that word, mental health. I think that's the dumbest word ever, but I'm just going to use it for this purpose. Maybe someone else like that would do that, but a sane, rational person just doesn't wake up one morning and file for a divorce, not unless something catastrophic happens. You find out you're married to Jeffrey Dahmer. You find out, I don't know, that this person is an alien, something. But this woman knew that she was going to file for a divorce, but she knew this trip to Italy or wherever they vacationed at, she knew this trip was coming up and she wanted to go. And she went happy to once again use up Greg Mathis's resources to take a trip and have her one last hurrah with him. And then once that trip was over, she files for a divorce, wipes him clean from her memory, from her history books, just like the Republicans wiping out history down in Florida and Texas. And she wipes him clean, but yet she wants him to take care of her for the rest of her, 3 years that she has left. Hopefully she only has 3 years left. And because she's a waste of human space at this point in time. Just like this one female said on social media, I saw the post because I've heard about the story, I guess, when it broke. She said, dang, girl, you didn't just move to the other end of the house. And I'm thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, after 39 years of marriage and you're 60 something years of age, at that point, you just move into the next bedroom. But no, these women want to have fun. They want to get the WD-40 out, or the olive oil, or the coconut oil, or the Crisco, or whatever it is they're using to lubricate their menopausal box up. And she just wants to have fun. And then I can guarantee you this, because Greg Mathis will be sitting in the house. Trust me on this. Men take divorce, and the reason why I brought up that story from Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews about the widow and sleeping with the man immediately after her husband has passed away is because women move on very fast from relationships. They move on fast. When they can be married for 50 years and the next week they're strutting around with a new man, riding around in the passenger seat of some new guy's car. And this guy she's just having fun. And men will be sitting in the house, heartbroken, wondering why, mad, bitter, angry. And we'll be in that particular state for years. Especially, they say the longer you've been married, the harder it is to get over it. And I've been through it, and I've heard Corey Hardwick. I was glad that he did that one interview. I think when he was going on the tour for Divorce in the Black, or whatever that movie was, for Amazon Prime, and he basically said, I was in the house for years just crying every day, and I can relate to that. When someone leaves you, you wonder why. You wonder why. Why didn't they want to make it work? You feel the rejection because you have a person that's known you for 20, 30, 40 years rejecting you. So you have to deal with that rejection. Then you have to deal with the fact that they're riding around, and hanging out with a new man. They're sitting in a new man's car, riding around with a new man, doing strange things with the new man, not even thinking about you, not even caring about you. And these are things that you have to process. These women they obviously do not grieve at all. They just move on and go and have fun. And at 61 years of age, I'm trying to figure out what she's looking for. But this goes to show you people the decline of Western society. The decline of Western society. Women no longer want to be married. They no longer want to have kids. They no longer want to have families. They just want to be out in the streets having fun. So you got to worry to say, well, what is it going to look like 20 years from now, 40 years from now, when no one's having babies, or we're reproducing? It's one man reproducing with 30 women and the other men aren't reproducing at all. And then these women are reproducing with these guys that don't have great personalities or great genetic traits. I mean, mental capacity, or just being a functioning human being. And then they demand that other responsible men take care of their kids. And then you have Democratic people, very liberal people, blaming men for not taking care of other men's responsibilities and putting the blame on men for the failures of women's actions. And I find that to be very upsetting, because trust me, I see it all the time. I told y'all, you can turn on television and they blame men for everything that goes wrong. And so what can you say went wrong in this relationship? Now, mind you, we're not in their bedroom. We're not in their household. We don't see what's going on with Judge Mathis and or his wife. But you just filed irreconcilable differences. There's no tales of police reports showing up to their house for domestic issues. And maybe he could have had a woman on the side. We don't know. But I'm not going to hypothesize that on him, because we always want to victimize the woman and make the man look, that toxic masculinity. This is all about her failures as a woman, as a wife, as a mother. Even though her kids are grown, she's still failing her family. So, and I think that this is very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Once again, you can file for divorce for any reason in the United States. The United States doesn't hold anyone accountable. If you notice that the thing in America, and this is why I tell people that you can't have a victim's mentality in America, because in America, we've allowed Black people, my people, I'm Black, we've allowed Black people to just be victims, and just, we allow Black people to just say, I'm a Black man, I've been victim, I'm a Black woman, I'm a victim. And then we just say, oh, yeah, you're right. And I'm not trying to say you can't acknowledge the wrongs that people have done, because when someone wrongs you, they wrong you. But at the same time, you have to have an action plan to say, okay, yeah, we understand, we've acknowledged that you've been wrong, but what are you going to do about it? It's kind of like with Joe, what's that guy, the Black Eagle that passed away, that used to have the morning show. But he said, what are you going to do about it? That's the next step. We don't hold. So when you see Black people not being held accountable, all we want is handouts. All you see is, and I'm not talking about all Black people, but you see a lot of Black people, they just want social welfare programs. They just fighting for SNAP and EBT and food stamps, and they're not fighting for businesses and jobs and to become multi-billionaires. They're not fighting for legislation that's going to uplift them up. You see this with women now. Women just want to be able to have sex talk nasty on the streets, do whatever it is they want to do, and then blame men for the problems of women. And you see where this is going with society. People, you're going to look back 15 and 20 years from now when society is crumbling like the empires of Rome, like all of the great empires back in the day that have failed, and you're going to wonder, where was the starting point? It starts here. It starts with the family. And you don't have a family, you have nothing. You have nothing for society. So I'm just putting it out there. This is a warning shot. This is the canary in the coal mine, as they say. I hate that term too, but I'm going to use it. This is the canary in the coal mine. This is the beginning of the end for America and for the Western civilization, actually, for any and all civilizations that operate like this. I'm just going to leave it here. But if you have any comments, put them in the comment section, and also hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.